Today I'm going to be learning more about the Netherlands by watching this video. It's called What the Dutch Are Known For. So yeah, being Dutch, what do you think the Dutch are most known for on the world stage outside of the country? What are you most proud of the Dutch being known for? Let's watch this and we can learn.
Hey guys, we're Alexandra and Rachel from Who is Amsterdam Tours, and in this video we show you how Dutch your life is. In other words, how Dutch inventions and ideas have influenced your lives, from entertainment to technology, food and drinks, and also sports.
Trust us, your minds will be blown by how much Dutch you touch every single day. When we moved to Amsterdam 13 and 8 years ago, we discovered that this tiny nation has shaped the world in massive ways.
So we started to share it with our guests from Who is Amsterdam Tours, and they love to learn about this.
Well, I think it's time for us to get started and help you discover
How Dutch is your life?
is your life.
How Dutch is your life? You really need to know.
Dutch invention number one.
Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi.
It's the very first question we all ask whenever we go into a cafe. What's the Wi-Fi password?
If you remember this crunchy sound, let's thank the Dutch for the convenience of wireless internet.
But how did it actually all come about?
In 1988, a bunch of Dutch computer scientists were working overtime at McDonald's, and they had an idea. Now that we have mobile phones, wouldn't it be nice to also have wireless internet too? Call it the power of a Big Mac? Two of them, Vic Hayes and Case Links, took this question and turned it into reality. 2 years later, they developed a prototype called WaveLAN, but it took them a really long time before the Wi-Fi became successful.
So Case had for 8 years a jacket with an extra large pocket to fit his laptop in order to demonstrate his invention everywhere he went.
Their breakthrough finally came in 1998 when Case had a meeting with none other than Apple genius Steve Jobs and sold him the idea of wireless internet. The rest is history.
So here's a fun fact. It was actually Case's wife, Angela, who came up with the name Wi-Fi after its original name, Wireless Fidelity. It rhymes with high-five! High-five, Wi-Fi, high-five, Wi-Fi!
In the Netherlands, you don't say Wi-Fi. We say
Wifi.
Number two.
Oh, Bluetooth as well, but Wi-Fi already, that's like one of the most important innovations, inventions of the modern day. Like, it's something probably almost every single person would have used at one point. It's so important for just getting things done on a day-to-day basis. So that one's actually kind of blown my mind already. If you're from Netherlands, did you know that already? How proud are you of that one? Yeah, the origins, even with regards to the name being just created by the guy's wife. And yeah, that collaboration with Apple was so important. I never really knew Apple had such an important role also in, I guess, how far spread Wi-Fi became. But yeah, I'm using it now. I'm sure you're using it now. One probably used it today. Fantastic. Bluetooth as well, but
Bluetooth.
The Dutchies are a bunch of very practical people. They like to think out of the box, like Mr. Jaap Hartsen. He thought it would be really amazing if we could connect one device to another one wirelessly and we could transfer data. And ta-da, Bluetooth was born.
But have you ever wondered why it's got such a strange name?
Well, it was named after Harald Bluetooth, a Viking king of Denmark between the years 958 and 970. King Harald was famous for uniting parts of Denmark and Norway into one nation and converting the Danes to Christianity. So what does an ancient Viking king have to do with wireless communication? Well, he brought things together. But that's not all. Our boy King Harold was also famous for his dead tooth, which had a dark blue/grayish tone. So his nickname was, yep, Bluetooth. The more you know.
Oh, cassette tapes, CDs and DVDs. Okay, man, I'm kind of getting blown here by the influence on technology just from a country like the Netherlands, which in I guess if you look at it geographically, it's quite a small landmass, even by population, quite small, but already, again, like a lot of the greatest innovations of the modern day, Bluetooth as well. The modern day phone without Wi-Fi and Bluetooth would be pretty pointless in a way. The origins of the name as well. Tell me if you knew that as well from a Viking, but what he actually did and how it relates to the functionality of Bluetooth, it kind of makes sense. It's quite interesting. I've never even thought about, you just say Bluetooth, you don't think a Bluetooth. You don't really think about the name itself. I just always thought of it as Bluetooth. So very interesting. Like the first two, like it shows how important Netherlands is to the whole world.
Number 3,
the
4,
advancement
and
of the world
5.
as well.
Cassette tape, CD, and DVD.
I promise you 1,000 songs in your pocket. In 2001, when Steve Jobs said those words, you rocked the world by inventing the iPod. But Steve Jobs wouldn't be nowhere without the Dutchman with Lou Ottens. He was the one who even put any kind of music in our pocket by inventing the cassette.
Lou was born in 1926 in the Dutch province Groningen. As a boy, he was fascinated by technology when the Netherlands was occupied by Nazi Germany in World War II. He went on to study engineering and joined Dutch gadget giant Philips, where he and his team developed the world's first portable tape recorder, the cassette tape, and in 1982, the very first CD in the world.
Really nice memories about buying your first CD. What was yours?
Mine was. Yo, I tell you what.
Mine was
Living la vida loca.
Living la vida loca. And
Yeah, tell me what your first CD was. I actually think mine was Still Dre by Dr. Dre. I remember one of my friends playing it at his house, and I was like, that's pretty much the first rap music or how I became a fan of rap music when I was a young teenager. And I went out and bought it, man. So yeah.
And now
Still
back
Dre.
to Lou, because he didn't stop with the CD. In 1997, he and his team also invented the DVD, and then it followed by the Blu-ray disc.
Okay, man, yeah. Cassettes, CDs and DVDs, how we consume media, or how we did consume media, is all thanks to Dutch, or a Dutch person, but the Netherlands. So technologically advanced. I wonder if it goes into what I've learned about the Dutch directness, how Dutch people are so efficient workers, how they can question their bosses. It's more egalitarian, and can be so innovative, so efficient, so good at engineering. I'm kind of blown away with those first 5. Tell me is that common knowledge? I feel like people outside of the Netherlands probably don't know that they all originated there. It
Number 6,
should be known.
National Anthem.
I grew up in Singapore. We had to wake up and sing the national anthem every single morning in school. Now I think it's so funny that it's become an event. Whitney Houston singing at the Super Bowl, my favorite, Lady Gaga at the inauguration. It is something that we all look forward to.
Okay, this is not what the Dutch are famous for, like what you're seeing on the screen right now. But the world's first registered national anthem was indeed written by a Dutchman. Philips of Marnix wrote it during the 80 Years' War of Independence between the Netherlands and Spain between 1568 and 1648. The song is about Prince of Orange, also called William the Silent, who was seen as the founding father of modern-day Netherlands.
It's called Het de Helmus. This is the beginning of it.
Number 7, reality TV hits.
Oh yeah, Big Brother comes from Netherlands. I remember that from back in the day. I don't know if it's the company Endemol or something like that, but I remember when Big Brother came to the UK, it was like the biggest TV show, and I always remember it was actually based on like the Dutch version of it. And that, when it first started, I think that was 2001 or 2000, maybe something like that. I was actually a big fan of the show. It was actually very innovative for its time. Really changed TV, the complexion of TV.
If you're a TV junkie, you might recognize these shows.
Fear
The
Factor.
brains behind it all, Dutch media mogul John de Mol Jr., whose first global hit was Big Brother in 1999. Every Monday, John and his team brainstorm over pizza and wine and curate the cultural landscape to bring binge-worthy hit shows from Holland to
The
Hollywood.
Voice as well.
Number 8.
Yeah, so again, like Fear Factor, The Voice, Big Brother, huge reality TV hits. Was there any other popular reality TV shows in Netherlands that maybe never made it outside of the country that were big there but not outside? Or was it just any other ones that were like well known outside? What about just other TV shows in general, not just reality TV shows? What's the best Dutch TV shows?
8. Speed Camera.
I'm angry. I'm seriously angry at my fellow Dutchman, Mouse Gastronides. Mouse invented something which I bet also you are not always very happy about. The speed camera, guys. Why? This is my newest ticket. 52 euro I need to pay because on the 29th of March I was allowed to go 50 per hour and I went 56.
Come on,
Really?
Mouse.
56, 6 more and 52 euro.
Then
And
maybe
I
you should
forgot
go the
that
speed
he
limit
was
then.
Actually, a speed car driver, and he got a lot of tickets himself, and so he invented it. Oh,
He wanted to measure his own speed.
yeah.
Oh, is that why?
Number
Okay.
9.
Oh, the eye test
The
chart.
eye test
Okay,
chart.
cool.
So, if you're wearing glasses, you might want to take a moment and thank our fellow Dutchman, Herman Snellen.
Herman Snellen invented the original eye test in 1862. Today, an updated version of the Snellen chart is still used to diagnose vision problems, making the world a happier and clearer place. But that's not all. A Dutch father and son team named
Microscope.
Hans and Zacharias Janssen invented the first microscope in the late 16th century.
Imagine where we would be without the microscope, how many diseases we could not heal, how many things we could not study. Thank you guys for inventing the microscope.
So that we can actually study COVID right now.
I get telescope as well, microscope and telescope. I guess that kind of makes sense since they're similar, but we looked at those first 5 and they were all very modern technological advancement innovations. These things are like for the whole of humanity over time, the microscope and the telescope, like that's so important. Yeah, again, for like finding out about diseases, viruses and so on. Like, think how many lives have been saved due to the microscope. And going back to that one about the letter chart for people, just allowing people to see properly. Netherlands is
And
important.
there's more. In 1608, Dutch optician Hans Lippershey was the first person to apply for a patent for a telescope. Unfortunately, he got his telescopic thunder stolen by Italian astronomer Galileo Galilei, who made a telescope that magnified things 17 times bigger. Sorry, Hans, but remember, the very first one who invented the telescope was Dutch.
Nice.
Number 12, the
Fire
fire
hose,
hose.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the fire hose. In the 15th century, Amsterdam experienced 2 great fires. Back then, it was a major problem because all the houses were made of wood, which meant that major parts of the city burned down. And Amsterdam was not the only city who had really problems with that. In 1672, father and son, Jan and Nicholas van der Heyden, invented the fire hose!
When people are using buckets of water to put out the big fires,
Yeah, lots of work. Don't want to do that. I mean, it's a
No.
good workout, but not in situations like that.
Number 13, the
Gin.
godfather of gin.
If gin is your jam, you might be surprised that the origin of gin comes from the Dutch jenever. Jenever means juniper. It's a liquor distilled from malt wine and flavored with botanicals like juniper to give it that aromatic oomph.
In 1689, William III of Orange became King of England, and he brought his love for Dutch Jenever to England and made it popular. Later on, the English developed gin from Jenever.
nobody really knows who invented it. All we know is it was actually medicine. And you're gonna get a good night's sleep as well.
So remember, guys, Genever is the grandfather of gin.
14, the Elstar apple.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Oh, I remember my mom. Her name was Kasia. She used to have an apple with her all the time. She would have it in her handbag, everything. Her snack every day was an apple. And it just blew my mind after I came to Holland that her favorite apple actually is Dutch. And this is it, guys. This is the Elstar apple. You can get it all over the Netherlands, all over Europe. It's super popular, very sweet, but also a little bit of sour. Perfect for apple pie. If you've ever come to Amsterdam, you have to try apple pie. It's very often made of Elstar apples, and it's simply delicious, guys. And for me, it's so much more because again, it's the favorite apple of my mom.
Number 15.
Tiki-taka.
Tiki-taka.
If you're a soccer fan,
I guess
like
Cruyff,
me,
is
you
it?
have to know of this style of playing soccer. It's called Tiki-taka. And Tiki-taka is known as a style of playing soccer which is defined by having a lot of ball possession, a lot of movement from the players, and a lot of short passes. A lot of people think that it's Spanish because it was perfected by the team FC Barcelona. But who was the coach back then?
Johan Cruyff.
Was he
Rijkaard.
Dutch? Yeah. His name was Johan Cruyff.
Johan
Not
Cruyff,
only
yeah.
just any kind of Dutch soccer player. It was the legend, the most famous. And just look at the style which he invented, Tiki-taka. Is this not mind-blowing? It's just brilliant.
In 1947, Johan Cruyff was born 5 minutes away from the Ajax Stadium, where he would eventually become a legend. Inspired by his football-loving father, Johan started playing for the Ajax youth club at just 10 years old. When his father died 2 years later, he decided to become a professional player to pay tribute to his dad. And boy, did he sweep the world away. In 1971, Johan was named the Dutch and European Footballer of the Year. He became the coach of the Ajax team, leading them to multiple victories. In 1973, FC Barcelona called. From there, he invented the iconic Tiki-taka.
And more than that, he was also an Amsterdammer, which means a lot for our city, and especially also fans from Ajax Amsterdam. This is also the reason why we named our biggest stadium of Ajax Amsterdam after Johan Cruyff. So it's called the Johan Cruyff Arena. If you ever here, visit it, you can really feel the legend. If you're a soccer fan, it's definitely highly recommended to do that.
Yeah, that one definitely, like Cruyff, being a football fan, Cruyff is one of the most important figures in football, if not the most important, considering it was his style of play that created one of the greatest club teams with that Barcelona team. The football they played was insane, the trophies, the success they had, and Cruyff's DNA was all over that team, man. Even just the Ajax team of the 90s. And you could extrapolate that out further to the Spain team that won the Euros and won the World Cup. Like, they played tiki-taka football. So yeah, so important. Like, when I was at school, I always used to have an argument with one of my classmates. He always loved or said that Maradona was the best player ever. I always said it was Cruyff. The Cruyff turn, such a iconic move, but just such a wonderful player and so influential for just all of football, man.
And finally, we have same-sex marriage.
The last invention we want to share with you is not really an invention, but something the Netherlands were first in. It is a topic which is very close to our hearts because we want to share with you that we are actually a couple. Yay! We've been together happily for 3.5 years. This right that we can just be a couple here is very, very special. And the Netherlands did something on the 1st of April in 2001.
And that was no joke. After the stroke of midnight, the Netherlands became the first country in the world to legalize gay marriage when the mayor of Amsterdam, Joop Cohen, officiated the weddings of 4 gay couples at the city hall.
He told the couples, there are 2 reasons to celebrate. You are celebrating your marriage to each other, and you are also celebrating your right to be married.
After the ceremony, pink cakes and pink champagne were served to the happy guests of the world's first pink communion.
Yay! Yay! What a special day that was. From that moment on, guys, 29 countries also legalized the gay marriage. But to be honest, that's great, but it's not enough. We believe that it doesn't matter where you're from, what your skin color is, what your gender is, what your religion is, what your sexual orientation is, we all have the same rights. We too are very blessed to live in the city, which is living and breathing it. It doesn't mean that we don't have any problems here anymore, but Amsterdam, again, was the first city, and the Netherlands, the first country in the world, legalized the gay marriage.
That's it, guys, for this list of Dutch inventions.
Yeah, I never actually knew that's where it originated, but again, another great thing for humanity. And wow, I'm actually very impressed by all of them, man. Like, you really see like how important Netherlands is for the world. Whether it's technology, just those amazing innovations like the microscope, telescope, things like food and all that as well, changing people's lives with the same-sex marriage as well. So, and a lot of amazing things. Tell me if there's anything else that wasn't on that list that the Dutch should be known for, any other innovations, any other inventions. Tell me in the comments and tell me what you think about these. Thanks.